interestingly, they went from a really hard engage composition with Gragas, Kalista, and Alistar in game number 1 to a composition with really no engage in game number 2. And if I'm ESC, they're best at pick compositions. They're best when they can really go in and play aggressively.
There it is, a Shen ban from ESC Everson, just not wanting to deal with it, even though they would have the chance to first pick at this game.
Well, and the Varus ban too on the side of Samsung, so denying that pick from Tempt. I think that maybe Ever thinks about going for a Twisted Fate here. They did struggle with the Twisted Fate when they played against KT, particularly the aggressive Victor play from Fly.
True.
But the Rise actually gets through the draft.
Huh.
Of course, we have seen Crazy take that champion up in the top lane. He's actually had it 3 times this season, and Tempt hasn't played it at all. So probably this is going to be a Crazy Rise pickup.
Could be. Well, I mean, it's not that crazy. He's a strong champion, Monty. I don't know. I'm kind of surprised he'd be shocked by that.
Well, I would be shocked by Rise. That's what he does.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. Kind of lightning magic guy, isn't he? Although now his magic doesn't really look like lightning, though. It kind of looks more like just blobs of blue stuff.
Maybe he throws blue at you.
Blue? I see where you're going with that. He wants to make you part of his group of blue men. It's possible.
It's really shameful there hasn't been a Blue Man Group Rise skin yet.
That is why I feel like the classic skin is kind of Blue Man Group Rise, isn't it? Sivir Gragas picked up for ESC Ever. Strong pickups there. I think the Gragas has certainly been a contested pick in this series.
Yeah, they took it in the last game. They used the early game pick potential and engage tools from the Sivir and Gragas ults well.
Yeah. Yeah, the Gragas has served both teams well in this series so far.
I do think you have to consider taking away the Nami if you are ESC, because you have to be pretty confident that that pick is going to come through from Wraith again, considering his emphasis on that champion this season. And he has played a Nami game.
They're thinking of going for the Alistar, though, along with the Aurelia for some engage, and they will grab it.
All right, well, I like this return at the very least. Again, what I said, go for the engage this time. Now they've got it. Take the Alistar. You have a chance to even pick up the Kalista again. It is a good matchup, at least in the laning phase, into the Sivir.
Yeah. And the Jhin that was banned in game 1 and then fell all the way.
victor here. The wave clear is going to be attractive. You'll have a dominant early laning phase against the Rise, and you return to one of Crown's best champions.
Yeah. All right, yep, there's a victor. And I'm not sure as far as the Challenger Series goes, but this will be the first time we've seen Temp play Rise in LCK when he was at IEM and the promos and all that at least. So we'll see what he can do.
I imagine he can play it. I'm not too concerned with that.
It is Rise. He's been around for a while.
It is Rise. He's been around for a while, even though he's, of course, had those reworks go through.
Yeah. But he's still Rise. At the end of the day, you run up, you hit a bunch of buttons, and you see who dies. It really describes any character, though, in pretty much any game, though, I suppose.
Yeah, that's how video games work, Doa.
Yep, you're right.
Got to get up in their face and just kill people.
Well, except for games like where you're building a city or something like that, and you don't really, you're not supposed to be killing people.
Yeah, city skylines, that's not the goal. But
yeah, that's right. It happens anyway. The morgues are overflowing once in a while.
That's one of the funniest problems in that game.
Not for the people who live there.
Well, they're just digital people, Doa, so I don't care about their suffering.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, you are a merciless, merciless digital deity, aren't you?
Yeah, that's me.
Wow. They've wondered what's going on
outside
of their world.
I'm like Old Testament God in City Skylines.
I guess so, man. Yikes. Well, we'll see if ESC ever see who takes it. Time to get into Game 3. All right. Oh, yes! The best Drake in the game! Cloud Drake coming in, #1 ESC ever versus Samsung. It is good. I mean, Cloud Drake, every skill shot you miss is because you didn't have one, and every skill shot you hit is because you were just that much quicker.
See, I just thought the Cloud Drake was full of hot air, but...
No, it's real. It's real buff.
Value.
Yep. And you get to lane 0.5 seconds faster, so you've got that going for you, too.
So fast.
Yeah.
A deep invade here for Vision. That is not something we see very often, but they do really want this Renekton in the Aurelia lane. What's interesting about this Renekton-Aurelia matchup is we have yet to see standard lanes with the Renekton-Aurelia.
That's true, yeah.
Smeb made it work regardless and delivered a pretty impressive Renekton performance. You do build full damage. We've seen a couple of different takes. Smeb actually wanted to go for completing the Black Cleaver first, but of course we've also seen Tiamat into Black Cleaver. And looks like...
Are they going to get it? Maybe.
They're going to invade the jungle. Wow, some wacky stuff going on right now.
Well,
they're checking the Gromp with both players. They're going to take away the Gromp, actually. Wow. This is going to give Cuvee... He doesn't know they're doing this. He thinks they're walking into lane, so he's not going to be able to actually get any CS. He's going to be so sad now. If he knew that he had a couple of free CS right there.
Well, that was awkward. All right. Crazy's going to spot it now. Sees Wraith.
Yeah,
I think he saw Ruler, too.
Yeah, Crazy. Quite disappointed, I think, by not being able to get into lane, and got a couple CS, a little bit of experience there. They was sort of bluffed by Samsung.
That was an interesting level 1. But in the end, looks like they do manage to avoid the 1v1 for the moment anyway.
Yeah, and they should be happy with that. Even though they saw Aurelia in that top part of the river, because of where the minion wave was, there wasn't really an opportunity to switch things up there, although Cuvee is sneaking around right now, looking like he thought maybe there was an outside shot that he might be able to get into that lane, but only a level 1. He wouldn't have the slice and dice Ruthless Predator combo.
Right.
Does make ganking tough.
So it will just be the lane swap, and it will just be turret trading early on. Probably a long time before anyone goes for that Cloud Drake.
And so we end up in a relatively standard lane swap situation, despite some interesting early plays.
Well, the turret going down a bit quicker for Ever, though.
Crazy did jet down there.
Loken gap, really low too.
It's not really going to matter. Ambition actually is going to just help out, ensure that they don't fall too far behind when it comes to tempo. And Juve going to go ahead and be granted the solo gold. Wave dissolves in the nick of time, and Bless will return to his own jungle for a little bit of a delayed red buff here. But
yep.
Might open up some later ganking options with the help of the red buff. And Crazy gets some nice time, and so does Juve alone with the wave, but Crazy will get a little bit more free time. Takes a couple with Blade Surge, and he'll be happy to have those few extra CS. Now, TP back into lane for Tempt.
Oh, Crown mistimed the death ray a little bit.
He did. Doesn't have an upgraded staff yet, so he couldn't even hit him with the second part of the death ray damage.
Oh. Failure. Epic fail.
And now we see Samsung's decision, which is going to be to match lanes. And the horns are signaling the last Jin crit.
Is that a horn, or is it like a stringed instrument? That sounds really strange. I can't really tell.
I don't know. They should make a soccer Jin skin so we can have a Vuvuzela sound.
That's true. Vuvuzela? I thought it was like Vuvuzela or something.
Vuvuzela? All right, fine, whatever.
Vuvuzela sounds like a Muppet, man. Like
Vuvuzela sounds like a Muppet too. They both sound like Muppets.
Yes. Oh, hi. Flashing in. They're trying to make a play on the Cuvée. They get the flash. Going to avoid the cocoon that way. Crazy's still chasing. But they're not going to be able to get the kill.
That was a really awkward gank from Bless, flashing over the wall right there.
He just shows up. It's like, oh, hi. Hi, I'm here to gank you.
They deny some CS. I suppose that's nice, but Cuvée just plays ring around the wall and gets out. Uses his flash. Takes a little bit of damage, I guess, but not that impressive. I mean,
it was so strange because Flush just comes over the wall and then he doesn't really do anything right away.
Yeah.
Cuvée is just like, are you going to
shoot that cocoon?
Like, kind of starts walking away. He's like, okay, I'll flash. I guess this is game. Was not sure at first. It's been a night of kind of awkward plays so far. This has like been one of those. Maybe NA has a chance at World Series, hasn't it?
Well, yeah, a lot of mechanical misplays,
yeah.
Weird / bad tower diving.
It's interesting. SKT's gonna win it all. Doesn't matter.
That is how the script ends every time, Doa.
It's true. I'm not even going to say something like, although this year SKT has been looking a little bit rough because, you know,
they always get it together.
It's not going to matter, yeah.
They always get it together somehow.
They just want to give you hope so they can take it away again. Faker's kind of
they're
sadistic
cruel
like
that.
Yeah. That's how it is. We do have standard lanes now, more or less. 1, 2, 3. That's what you said in Korean. I understood that.
Yeah. Good job, Noah.
Thanks. Who needs Chobra anyway?
We finally are getting this lane matchup. Crazy. I mean, that gank at least denied the CS. I mean, that's the one thing I will say about it is it has actually been beneficial from Crazy's perspective when it comes to getting an item advantage in this lane. But even so, he's having a hard time.
Yeah. Ambition lurking up, but Bless is going to find him. He's on the run. Body slamming away. Trying to protect this lane.
Yeah, Samsung just reassigning everybody into that bottom side. Now they're going to TP.
Wow, they're going to go for it. He wants to fight, but they're not going to. Crazy decides to make an appearance.
Wow, and this is Victor can just walk down there right now too. I'm not sure why Crown is.
He is walking down.
Yeah, he should have decided to commit to the bottom side a little bit earlier though, and try and pressure them off the turret.
Well, now Samsung just basically gets a free turret.
Well, they thought that Victor was coming down. He actually hit in the river right there in the brush, and so they didn't have vision. But now Rise is coming.
Yeah, Bless gets lit up though when he tries to go in, gets exhausted. repels. Not going to live, though. Kube pops out Renekton ultimate. Pretty tanky early on. First blood going over to Wraith. There's another one. Kube picks up a kill. Going to get a third. Double kill now for Kube. 3 overall for Samsung. Trying to make it 4 as Crown comes down for a piece of the action. That's one for Ruler. And that means merely a 3K gold lead at 8.5 minutes for Samsung.
Yeah, they get the turret too, and that was just a terrible call from ESC.
Yeah.
So when they realized the Victor wasn't coming down, they tried to engage, but the turret was too low, and it was a 3v4
Well, just
without the Rise there, and there's no TP on the Jhin, so he can't get into this. There's no turret left. What are you going to do? Ambition is already moving down on that side of the map, so by the time the Rise gets there, 2 people are already dead.
Yeah.
He also doesn't even have ultimate yet on Alistar, so there's no way to buy time by using the Alistar ult to tank until the Rise gets there. That's just really bad play from ESC.
Yeah, no other way to really say it.
Loken could not be part of that fight. And the way their composition is designed is to get picks with the chain CC. Fighting 3 versus 4, it seemed like it was a miscommunication there between Tempt and the rest of the team, because they obviously thought he was going to be there sooner, but you just got to give that turret up at that point.
Yeah.
The thing that ESC did was they made a decision, and the decision was, we are going to freeze the lane in the top side to deny CS and to power up our Jhin. Crazy was already ahead when it came to CS. If you make that decision, you just have to give that tower up, because you are on the back foot with both side waves pushed up at that point, and you're not pushing out the top wave to create any pressure. It's just a sloppy macro decision, and
right.
it looked like because Crown had fooled them earlier by pretending to be going down into the bottom side, that they thought they would be able just to fight with the Rise before the Victor, but that simply was not the case.
Well, with a lead like that, I mean, you gotta wonder if Samsung's going to be able to snowball this one pretty quickly.
I mean, I think the worst part about this, Doa, is that Cube got 2 kills and 2 assists out of that.
Yeah.
Which,
if there was any chance that Crazy would be able to go toe-to-toe with this Renekton, it's looking pretty remote now.
and he's going the same build that we saw Smeb go, which is the Phage Jarum's Fist start, so probably going to be that Black Cleaver Sterix. So he's actually changed his build from the last time we've seen him.
Yeah.
But with the Dominus and the Sterix passive effect, it's incredibly difficult to kill the Renekton.
Thanks for a big crocodile, too.
Super big.
Yep. Temp just getting to farm in the mid lane. That's been pretty even between these two guys. Crown with just the 1 assist out of that last fight.
Crazy still just stuck on a health crystal and a stinger.
Yeah, wow. Samsung invades the blue. Gonna go in on the key. Had the exhaust. There's a kill for Ambition. Use that explosive cask to pin him against the wall. And Cuvée pops the ultimate. He's gonna flash ahead for the stun. Crazy in big trouble. Loses the duel. Uh-oh. This one is pretty far off the rails already, isn't it?
Yeah. Unfortunately, that misplay was absolutely huge from ESC. You can't really recover from giving up 4 kills and your turret at that early stage of the game. They've just been misplaying this composition and been very well punished for it.
Yeah.
Nobody even cares about the Cloud Drake, Doa, your favorite Drake.
Nope. They don't
Ambition's going
understand.
to take the buff right out of the Rift Herald. Rift Herald is apparently more important.
I guess so.
It is. That is how good the Cloud Drake is. That Rift Herald buff is actually preferred.
Do you realize, though, how many more barrels he hit with that Cloud Drake? A few of them, barely. That's the
He
answer.
would have been there half a second earlier
Yeah, that's right.
to land the sick ult.
Moving just a teeny bit faster means the difference between life and death.
That's true if you're outrunning a bear.
That's right. Well, you don't want to outrun bears generally.
Yeah, you can't do that.
If it's a black bear, you try to just like make yourself as big as possible and scare it because they're kind of timid. And if it's a grizzly bear, and you want to like back away while you're doing it, so it's a grizzly bear, and it starts to come at you, you just roll up in a ball, cover the back of your neck with your hands, and
pray.
That's right. And if it starts licking you, it means it probably wants to eat you, so you want to defend yourself then. Try to fight your way out, even though you're probably going to die. There you go.
Nice job.
Nature tips. Doa.
And always remember to put your food in the tree when you're camping.
That's right.
So you don't have bear problems in the first place.
Exactly. Exactly. Wear like little bells when you're hiking, you know. The animals know you're there. They'll avoid you for the most part. We used to see black bears in Wisconsin once in a while when I was a kid. Back during my lumberjack days.
I'm from Colorado. Spent some time in Yellowstone as well, so I've seen grizzlies.
They have bears there, yeah.
Black bears in Colorado. Grizzlies in Wyoming and Montana.
Right. And Crazy. He's got a bear of a time here, doesn't he? Ha ha! Oh, he lives. Wow, what do you know? Able to get out of there with the teleport. Bringing Tempt in, but there's Crown. Gets hit with the Rune Prison. So some trading, but no kills.
He took your advice, Stoa.
He did.
He was in the fetal position, was covering his neck.
Sure, he lived for the moment. And Bless trying to get out. Crazy, dodging that Chaos Storm. Cuvée just trying to make himself look as big as possible. And backing away.
Yeah, unfortunately, they take so much of a chunk out here that 5 people in the mid lane, a very real possibility. They are even aggressively pathing behind the turret. Here comes the curtain call.
That's right. Going to try to put some damage in onto Samsung, but Wraith there to block with the shield. Whoa, not the last hit, though. That's a bit. It's a bit of damage. But it's not enough to really scare Samsung away, and they're going to be able to take this mid lane turret. Ruler pops his ultimate just to help the team get in and get out quickly.
Just to zone them off, make them afraid of a possible turret dive engage. Means that the turret is taken without any more additional damage suffered by Samsung. Boomerang Blade helps out. Ambition secures the enemy blue buff with the smite, and it's just all going Samsung's direction right now.
Yep. Rift Scuttler, more valuable than Cloud Drake.
No one wants Cloud Drake.
No.
So we were discussing on the cast yesterday, Kilios and I, actually Cloud Drake is the evolutionary forefront of Dragon's Doa, because
really?
Yeah, all the other dragons are horribly they've evolved horribly because they've evolved to a state where everybody just wants to kill them all the time.
Yeah, that's right. Cloud Drake really has it right, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. You make yourself useless to the champions on Summoner's Rift, so he actually has more time to live, spread his genes. Soon all the drakes are going to be Cloud Drakes.
I mean, it seems like that sometimes. It's classic, you know, predator prey philosophy. You make yourself unappealing to the predator,
exactly,
and you live to propagate your species.
Yep. Cloud Drake is actually from an evolutionary standpoint the best Drake.
Yeah, I mean, in a lot of ways, it's the best Drake.
No, that's the only way. They're just the best Drake.
As I'm sure we'll discover, there are many more ways. I've seen the statistics and numbers and things, and it tells me Cloud Drake is amazing. Really. See, they're going for it. Now they know they need the Cloud Drake. They got it. There we go. Cloud Drake obtained.
Nice.
Mission accomplished.
Vulcan's just been farming up a storm, staying well away from the rest of his team, trying to get in a place where he has all that armor penetration so that the picks will be more successful. But 16 minutes into this game, I don't know why Crazy has 2 Sapphire Crystals. That is a very interesting question that we must ask.
He
It needs more mana, I guess.
He's got a thing for the
He'd rather have that than a completed Trinity Force, I suppose.
He's role-playing as Tarek. Old Tarek. His gems are truly outrageous.
Yeah, they are truly outrageous. In this particular instance, Noah, I don't feel great about that purchase.
Yeah. Oh, the duel. Tempt runs up, runs right into the Chaos Storm. Has to flash away. And that was a fight that he did not want to take.
I do think it's interesting that Cuvée has adapted his build to match that of Smebs from yesterday in this matchup, because definitely he was going for that Tiamat first last time.
Yep.
We saw him play.
Well, if you're looking for a place to get top lane tips, I think Smeb is probably a good resource.
Yeah, it's a very good resource, one might think.
He's pretty great now.
I mean, the other problem that ESC is suffering is a total lack of wave clear. Except for a Rise ultimate, they don't have much. Dancing Grenade only can do a little bit to clear out these waves. And that means that Samsung has been pretty successful when it comes to quickly pushing down these turrets. Poke from Boomerang Blade and Death Ray, extremely effective.
Battle for the Krugs. Okay, they share. That's really nice, you know?
Just split the Krugs right down the middle, but who gets the big Krug, Doa? It's
right.
not really fair.
Well, it's fairer. Fair-ish. Oh, here comes more Ever members. They're going to try to take out Guve. Gets exhausted, gets big, trying to live, going after Crazy. Might be able to get this kill. He will. He'll flash for it. Wow, he was able to take the 1v3.
Wow,
turn it into a kill.
The Dominus pop right there, and the little bit of extra health he got from Koldamik, keeping him alive long enough to flash after Crazy and make sure that he comes out with something in that duel.
Yeah.
And they commit so many people to that bottom side of the map that they're going to lose a lot of CS on some of these other turrets. And even Ambition's going to get some quality alone time. With the, come on, Ambition, get out of the turret range.
There.
Ruler's here as well, so it looks like they are going to take out the bottom tier 2. We'll see if Bless can stop them.
Okay, Coon onto Ruler. He could be in trouble. There's a flash, headbutt pulverized,
Nice.
and there goes Ruler. Great engage from Bless and Key. Jin popping that ultimate. Oh, Ambition walks out of the range though. Doesn't stop Bless from going in, gets knocked up by the Braum ult. Tempt looking for some damage, but can't quite find it.
Yeah, but they have to send so many people down to these objectives. Victor was just pushing into the top tier 2 that entire time. He actually doesn't go for any of the auto attacks on it. They ping out the spawning blue buff, but they're not going to attempt to get that either with Ruler down. So I think Samsung could have pushed that just a little bit harder, considering that ESC basically all in on the bottom side, including using their teleport on the Aurelia.
Yeah. So Samsung still with a decent lead, but slowed down a little bit due to the picks. If they would have had 2 Cloud Drakes, they probably could have avoided that.
They would have gotten away faster.
That's right.
I don't think they could, because they were TP flanked. In any case, Logan gets a much-needed kill, and he will be, it appears, building that Dusk Blade as his next item.
Yeah, and we really saw what that can do, too. Prey really making that build work yesterday.
Yeah, it's pretty deadly, and we do have a Renekton that isn't going to be very tanky in this game. So catching him out and using a lot of armor penetration, we'll be able to blow him up with some speed, even though he does have the Sterix Gauge as well as the Dominus now. And it's just a wait for Drake.
Yep. And which Drake is it? I didn't catch which one it was. I don't think we saw it.
It's probably Cloud.
Probably. When it rains, it pours when it comes to Cloud Drakes. Thank you for supporting that joke.
Elise.
Elise, yep.
She sounds like a laughing duck in Korean.
It's a very condescending laugh. It's like, whatever.
It's more of a quack laugh anyway.
Yeah. It's kind of like the penguin a little bit in Batman, you know? Yes, it's a penguin, not a duck, but you get the idea.
ESC has just been sitting under their turrets at tier 2 for most of this game. Not able to really contest with a 6,000 gold lead at 20 minutes. And they just can't push out the waves. They simply can't do it fast enough compared to the Victor. Crown's here just to show up and dodge skill shots with the speed from his Q.
Oh, they found Ambition. Oh, the W misses though from Loken, so Ambition will live. Maybe.
Smashes some spiders with his barrel.
Yeah, that happens. Wow, Loken has to flash on the explosive cast. Ambition going for a play there.
Yeah, great trade if you're Ambition.
I'd say so.
You'll be happy to see that one, and that's the risk of playing Jin against a jungler with such strong engage like Gragas, or any champion with such strong engage.
Yeah.
You are very reliant on your flash. It will be an Ocean Drake.
Okay. There it is, and Samsung's going to take this one too. So both Drakes going to Samsung so far this game. And they have been really dominating over the course of this series. It has been, what, 6, 8 Drakes now for Samsung and only 2 for ESC Ever over the course of the series.
Yeah. Well, again, ESC did come into this series with only a 39% dragon control rate, so it really hasn't been their forte. They've also picked a couple of pretty big scaling compositions, running the like of Ezreal and Swain in the last game. Doesn't make taking early Drakes easy, and I think that's why we've seen them fall out of favor. And now we're looking at a lot more champions like Ashe and Sivir and Jhin, where if you build Jhin with a lot of armor penetration, he can really poke people off of objectives in the early and mid game quite well. You open up with that curtain call, and all of a sudden the enemy team can't defend their turret or take a Drake anymore if you land 2 or 3 of those shots. Meanwhile, Ashe, of course, the engage.
Oh, hi. I was wrong, by the way. It was 3, because ESC ever did get those 3 Ocean Drakes in Game 1.
That's true.
There you go. Still, not the greatest record overall. 3-6.
I think it makes a lot of sense that Shen is, for similar reasons, becoming another big priority pick in this meta, because Shen's ultimate, being a true global for professional teams, means that whenever you can actually just get Shen through a laning phase, he's going to be in the professional meta, because his ultimate is incredibly strong.
Yeah, of course.
For coordinated teams. And Shen also has a big early game effect when it comes to playing around that Drake. Yeah, you could TP back to lane and push up the wave and still have a lot of presence as the rest of your team goes to contest that objective.
Ever just trying to take back a little bit of their jungle as Samsung grabs that tier 2 in mid lane and then rotates down to bot.
Jhin making some delightfully annoying noises.
It is kind of annoying, isn't it?
One would think that he wouldn't want everybody to know that his next shot was actually going to be the critical hit.
It's beautiful. It's the crescendo of his auto attack performance.
Is that right?
That's right. 2-2 turret taken. Samsung just pushing Ever back even farther.
Turret goes down. The gold lead expands, Doa. Now
Yep.
Samsung with a stranglehold on Vision in the river around the Baron can just simply rush over there and take a blue buff, clear out that one solitary pink ward, if they so choose. Ambition would rather have a Gromp, apparently.
Oh, there we go. They find the pink ward. And giving the blue buff over to Crown is great, of course.
Ambition gives auto that one. The ward gone. And now all eyes should be turning on to this Baron, considering that ESC will have to really dedicate a lot of resources, maybe blow Woken's ult in order to force them off of it.
Could be. He does have the Duskblade now, so he will be able to do some decent poke damage.
Yeah, you have to be kind of concerned, especially now that the Rise is fully stacked on the Rod of Ages and the Seraph's Embrace, so they are starting to come into their own just a little bit, but Crazy is still crazy squishy with just a Cowl and a Shroud. So just about the split push. Juve very happy in this matchup right now. Building into probably a dead man's plate, I would guess.
Samsung not needing to really rush at all. Just kind of played out methodically and slowly kind of choked the life out of ESC Ever.
Indeed, and like you say, they're not even going to go for the Baron. They're just going to start pressing down on the last tier 2 right now.
Yeah, why not? They did send Kube down to bot lane as well.
Well, they know he can win that 1v1. Here we go.
Oh, yep, right onto Ambition. Braum ultimate used for the counter engage from Samsung, and a lot of ESC members love great explosive cast. Wow, they were all right where Samsung wanted them. 2 kills come in already. Ambition has to give his life, but in the end, a big win for Samsung again. They can probably just move towards this Baron now.
Ambition took some unnecessary damage at the start of that fight and did position himself to get caught and then chain CC'd, but man, he turned that one around. The Rise and the Alistar just get pummeled, just pushed into the middle of his team, and they quickly clean them up from that point forward.
Oh, Bless flashes, but still gets hit by that Braum Q. He's going to get stunned when he comes down. There's the exhaust to ensure it, but no. Actually, he'll make it out.
Yeah, it was a good flash from Cube. Unfortunately, the repel was there because the Braum passive stacks very quickly with Ruthless Predator. You're able to get that W down, and Ambition was chain CC'd, but it was layered a little bit right there, so they didn't get the full value. And what a great ultimate, just straight into the Chaos Storm too.
Yeah, and he hit him with the body slam as they flew towards him too, so they were taking a lot of damage from that Chaos Storm.
Great play from Ambition.
It's really interesting to see how different of a team this group is if they've got Wraith down at support. They really are a completely different team.
Yeah, shows how much one player can really affect a team when it comes to its style or its shot calling.
Yeah.
Gotta have that right mixture of communication and skill. Seems like Wraith is doing a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to that.
Well, there's definitely a certain amount of confidence in Samsung that does not exist when they've got Core JJ playing support.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, hey, another Cloud Drake, all right. Sweet.
And they're taking it after 29 minutes, so mercifully we will not see another one.
Oh, well. It's like 5 people clapping for the Cloud Drake, like, is that good? I guess. Sure. Yay. Time to bait the Baron. Just getting a little bit more vision control around the pit. But Samsung certainly got the time to do this right.
Yeah, just waiting, very patient. They're respectful at the very least of the power that this Jhin and Ryze have at this stage of the game, and they don't want to be caught out. Again, they don't have a whole lot of armor, just a couple of Dead Man's plates, and that Jhin has a whole lot of armor penetration now with his new Dirk, the inventory.
Yep.
It will be turned into a Maw eventually.
Oh, it's okay. Meanwhile, nobody sees Samsung hanging out there. Oh, they're going to go for it. On the hot pop, trying to collapse onto Bless and Loken. They might be able to. Explosive Cask does get Bless. Loken manages to escape. Has to burn his flash to do it, though. There's a pick for Samsung. With the jungler dead, they can turn right around onto that Baron. Yeah,
now's the time to go. They were very patient, get a pick. Couldn't quite get onto Loken, but the fact that he doesn't have flash anymore will be a great relief to Samsung.
Yeah, taking the blue buff on their way. And this Baron could mean the end of the game for Ever and Samsung.
And he's going to take it down. No possible chance for a contest right here. ESC Ever not even going to try. And since they already have all the tier 2s down, this should be enough to actually close this game out.
Yeah.
Particularly when they have such a heavy advantage in the split push with this Renekton into the Aurelia.
Kind of looking that way.
ESC making a last attempt to push out the minion waves and buy themselves as much time as possible. And they will do a pretty good job of that, actually, considering how far the members of Samsung have to go in the bottom side. But with only one tier 1 turret dead on Samsung's side on the map, they actually can't push too far forward here.
Well, it's been an interesting best of 3, hasn't it?
It has been.
I feel like we saw whatever can do in certain circumstances. There's like flashes of brilliance here and there. But Samsung with Wraith at support is quite the force to be reckoned with.
I think that's the biggest thing we've learned is that it is a night and day difference. We've seen 3 games of core so far. Wasn't really willing to call it after a couple, but I think we have enough evidence right now of seeing the transformation that Samsung has had in every series that they've played now when we compare the games with Wraith to the games to Core JJ. They got absolutely rolled by KT in Game 1. They put up a very good game. One of my favorite games of the season in Game 2 of Samsung versus KT. Really good League of Legends. And then they got absolutely destroyed. Game 1 of this series came back, and it's been pretty one-sided for Samsung since.
Here we go, going in. Explosive Cask pushes Loken away. He's going to turn around with the damage. Samsung kind of grouped up. They need to be careful here. Crazy, though, not able to get anything done on that Aurelia. They comes back in for an easy kill there. Bless on the run, and Samsung closing it out with that inhibitor turret. Kuve huge right now. Bless has flash away. There we go. Crown flashing in for the kill for himself. There goes the inhibitor. Can they end here? I don't know. Tempt got 1 kill. Wraith very low. They get the inhibitor. But with Wraith and Kube nearly dead, they're going to have to back off.
Because Ambition missed his cask right there and wasn't able to pull in Loken, even though Loken didn't have his flash available, so misplay there from Ambition. I like that Samsung just immediately backed off. You notice that they tried to disengage there just instantaneously. They didn't follow through with the play, came back, went to kill the turret, went to kill the inhibitor, instead of just committing 100% to that dive. And now, as a final item, Cuvée going to get that Tiamat well after his Deadman Plate and his GA.
And he'll be doing a lot of damage on that Renekton.
Yeah, well, he has been, and now we're finally starting to see why the Renekton pick was coming in, Doa. Both yesterday and today, this build has shown that it can easily handle an Aurelia to split push 1v1, and even into the late game, so.
Very true.
Of course, you do have to pair it with something that can actually provide engage, considering that Renekton is only a very short dash to work with. But when you have Sivir and Gragas, definitely have enough engage to justify a Renekton pick for team fighting.
You got to think Someday is pretty excited about this too. Over on KT, he's like,
sure
finally.
He is. The Renekton Lord is back.
I'm back. The original Renekton main. Or not the original, but one of the big Renekton mains in Korea. Time to go for this top lane inhibitor turret. They're trying to defend. Meanwhile, Kube pushing in that mid lane. Going to do a lot of damage to the turret. They're going to turn it into Ambition, but no follow-up from Ever. All right, they're going to go for it. Ruler pops the ultimate yet again. Bless, nice explosive cast, forcing him out of the fight for the moment anyway. He tries to engage, takes some damage, goes in actually for the big headbutt pulverize, but there's just no damage overall coming in from ESC Ever, it looks like. Jin can't really get any done. Tempt can't get close enough, trying to now. Chaos Storm going to force him back. GA going to bring back Kube. Crown does go down to the turret, actually, and Samsung pushed away. There's a kill for Loken. Now the teleport bringing Crazy back. He's going to try to flank Ruler and Kube.
I don't know if he can actually get this kill. He needs to think very carefully about that one.
No kidding.
Yeah, he does not want to go in there. He realizes that the stun from Renekton would probably just end him, considering the Ruler could just ricochet auto him, and that'd probably be it. And they actually coordinate their recalls very well to prevent Aurelia from being able to do anything, but the Elder Dragon may be the price. They didn't even get that mid lane inhibitor.
No, they didn't. Kube's there with full health. He's going to come in now. Ambition coming from the other side. Kube just going to go on to Loken, force him to flash out of the pit right away. Elder Dragon lower and lower. ESC Ever's committed now. They really want this, but here comes Ruler joining the fight now. Here comes Alistar. All right. Oh, actually, they do kill Ruler. Crown's still dead. Kube in a lot of trouble. There's a kill, though, for him right before he gets taken out. Elder Dragon's still alive through all of this. I think the Dragon's winning this team fight. Ambition coming in, getting knocked up alongside of Wraith. Kiso there. Loken gets a curtain call back again. And this Dragon still alive. There's a kill onto Ambition.
Here's Crown. He's coming
here. Wraith pops a Bravo.
Crown.
Crown comes back, and they might be able to get it. There's one. Crown gets the kill. Elder Dragon does finally go over to ESC Ever, and they nearly win the team fight along with that. I don't know what's going on, man.
They did win the team fight. Are they going to lose their inhibitor? Looks like the mid wave is going to actually prevent that from happening.
What am I watching here?
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Samsung, though, I don't blame them for going in on that, considering how much damage that Elder Dragon was doing to ESC Ever in the pit. And, of course, I'm not wanting to get them to pick up that buff. But most of that buff is actually just going to be wasted, Doa, because they all had to go back into their base to defend. It's only a minute and a half. And
well, it's going to keep them alive, and that's the important thing.
They also had no Drakes to actually stack up there.
Well, they got the base buff, at least. Baron up in about 15.
Yeah, Samsung, I think the best case scenario, if you are ESC, is to try and force a Baron fight while you still have this Elder Drake buff available, but I think Samsung's going to be smart and just sit here and push minion waves until it goes away.
Yeah. Here's Baron.
Samsung should absolutely not start this while the Elder Dragon buff is still up.
Yeah, that'd be more than a little bit risky. But then again, we've seen them do things that are more than a little bit risky this series already, so you never know. Samsung getting back into position in the mid lane. They've got vulnerable open inhibitors in both mid and bottom. But suddenly, I mean, that dragon buff just puts a big pause in the game, basically.
Yeah, it also is a late game rise, so Samsung doesn't want to mess this one up.
Or do
and
they?
Get caught inside the pit with a lot of Rise AoE. Jhin also pretty scary right now, and he's building into an Infinity Edge. He is going to be a monster.
Yeah.
In a few minutes. ESC, they may be behind 13,000 gold, but Samsung playing with a lot of respect.
Well, we're at the point, too, where the gold lead doesn't really matter as much either. I mean, you're starting to get all the items you want to on your character, and everybody's going to be doing a ton of damage.
Yeah, ESC still going to be 2 items behind, but I think the power of their composition is evident, and Samsung also knows that if they step out of line once with all of the single target crowd control that ESC has, they can be burst down pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So Ravenous Hydra, the final item for Cube. Don't know if he'd be picking that one or going with a Titanic, but he opts for the bigger damage.
Probably a good idea.
Loken will not survive an encounter with this Renekton, that's for sure.
Okay. Samsung being very sneaky here. Oh, Cocoon immediately as they try to engage. Zipper ultimate used anyway. Repel from Bless trying to get back to that minion wave. Loken turning it around with the curtain call. Explosive Cask knocks him out of it though. Bless very low. Tempt on that late game rise. Remember, no dragon buff right now. They've got to try to win it the old-fashioned way. Kube looking for an angle into the back line, but Bless is still okay for the moment. He tries to engage, gets taken out by Crown, and now Samsung can push ahead. Temp flashing out of the queue from the Braum. There goes Bless. Brought back with the GA for just a moment, but can't imagine he's going to survive for too long. Nope. And so Samsung free and clear to go for this Baron now and try to end the game.
Yeah, in fact, they're not even going to go for the inhibitors first. I think that actually the better play right now is just to go ahead and take out the 2 naked inhibitors, then take the Baron, and then make a final push. As that does, there's no reason you can't kill their inhibitors with both their jungler and their support down, but
I suppose
they're going for the direct play here.
That is true. Well, securing that Baron should secure them the win, so.
Yeah, you have to wait longer for the super minions now to push up into the base. You're not going to have them when you right away after you walk into their base.
Bless will be back.
Bless will be back. I mean, Bless being back for the Baron is also potentially a problem, but I think they had enough time that Bless would not have been able to make it, and if the members of ESC were to attempt to defend, it would have been more kills over to the side of Samsung.
Yeah. Well, ESC we're trying to set up some picks. And they need them. Picks are the only way they're going to win this game. Ambition.
He knows.
That's the word. Yep. That's right. Meanwhile, the top inhibitor turret being taken down by Kube. And Ever just doesn't. They just don't look like they can stop this aggression.
Well, that was the Hail Mary play right there. Maybe you get a pick and you can actually turn the tide and march down to the other side of the map this late in the game, but once they were found out by a very safe ward from Ambition, no more opportunity.
Yep, right, blocking the damage after that Cocoon. Looking pretty good there. And Ever loses their mid inhibitor. Loses their top inhibitor. Loses their bottom inhibitor. And they're about to lose the game. Explosive Cask used just to split up the members of Ever right now. Kube again trying to loop around the Nexus, come from behind, just simply zoning so they can take out the turrets. Loken can't get a lot done with the ultimate despite the damage on that Jhin. And now Kube, the monster on this Renekton, picks up the first kill of this team fight. Crown doing a ton on that Victor as well. And Samsung's got this one all locked up. There goes Tempt. Without that Rise damage, there's no chance at all. Samsung seem to take this one 2-1. GG.
That's right. And after Wraith comes back in, two
What do you know?
dominating performances from Samsung.
Yeah.
Certainly, Samsung was conservative with some of their shot calling in the late game, leading to some safe snowball victories, but games did go a little bit longer than perhaps they needed to, but just making sure that they could come back and actually seal the deal so they can continue a little bit of a rise here in the standings.
Yep. So going forward, again, I mean, you'd be surprised if they kept trying this core JJ thing. I mean, clearly, Wraith is the way to go. That helps give Samsung that much-needed win.
Yeah.
As far as Ever, I mean, I think Ever did what they could, but in the end, just not one of our stronger teams this season.
Yeah, and they actually did have a pretty solid performance at game number 1. Played aggressively, played decisively. I liked the Callista Alistar usage that we saw. I sort of wish that they had gone back to that instead of the Jhin in game number 3 because they showed how well they can use it, and you really got to see the synergy between Loken and Key in that game.
I suppose.
But not going to be enough to actually take out a best of 3 against Samsung in the end, and Cube showed up that game. Renekton pick, finally for him working out as an Aurelia counter pick. We saw its success yesterday when Smeb used it, but Cube really doing a lot to shut Crazy down in that game.
Yeah. Renekton has arrived in LCK Summer. Smeb performance and Cube performance looking good. And so our MVP is Cube. No big surprise there, of course. 7-2 and 6.
Now, I don't know.
Crazy.
I don't know whether Cube had the right idea with the counter pick and just the wrong build, or what it was when we saw him take this matchup earlier on in the season.
All right, interview time, and Steven will do some translating for us. Take it away.
Thank you very much, Doa and Monte, for a great cast for today's match. And now we're moving into interview booth with winner of today's match, Samsung. And it's finally it's end of the first round for Samsung. And let's hear from our two MVP for today's match, Crown and Cube.
크라운 선수, 큐베 선수 장기전 힘드셨죠? 승리 소감 부탁드립니다.
So first of all, congratulations for both of you. It has been a very long game.
연습 때도 그렇고 오늘 경기장 올 때도 그렇고
So tell us about it.
마음이 불안했어요.
And Crown saying that I was very worried about today's match because it's end of today's match was the end of our first round, and we had some mistakes. But I'm very happy and very relieved right now after winning today's match.
많이 불안하셨을 텐데 오늘 이렇게 캐리하셔서
So Cloud Temper is asking to Cube after the first round, first match. You're very nervous because it wasn't that great play in the first game. And now Cube is saying that not just only me, maybe the other player had a lot of mistakes too. So it's pretty tough on all of us.
이번 선수는 여기 못 왔어요 지금. 못 앉았습니다. 두 선수가 캐리하신 거예요 오늘. 그렇죠.
여기엔
A Cloud Templar said
수에는 있으니까.
넌 그렇네요.
it's only for you guys. You guys are the MVP for today's match. And the Cube said it was Ambition had a lot of mistakes too. So everyone was laughing about that.
가져간 급이 계속 이기는 장면이.
And now Dongjun said that I think the Shen was the most important pick for today's match because the team who took the Shen for today's match have won the first and second game. So what do you think about the pick using from Shen? And Cube is saying that Shen has very great using on his ultimate, so you can go to bottom lane or mid lane or any lane that in any time after using ultimate. So it's been a great use for utility. So I think it's a great pick to use Shen.
그렇게 무리를 하진 않았는데 좀 이제 엄청 마음 가볍게 가도 안
And Crown said when the Shen pick for our Cuvette have pick, it was very relieved to fight in mid lane because there's someone behind my back to look after it. So I think it's really Shen is a great pick.
딜량을 낼 수 있는 비결이 뭐죠?
So Cloud Templars asking what's your method of making a lot of dealing? Like you had a very pretty much high stat in your dealing. So what kind of methods are they?
내가 하면서 좀 기분
And
좋아졌는데
Crown said it was even surprise for me. Like he says, is it me actually who did this? But maybe I had a great team fight and also maybe good playing in the lane.
못할 때 안 하고 그러다 보니까 뭐 자연스럽게 잘 된 것 같아요.
So that kind of aspect what makes me had a great statistic score on the dealing part.
의미가 없었어요. 네. 데미지 딜링 그냥 상황 봐서 잘하면 된다. 이런 말씀이신
So
것 같고요.
Cloud is there any meaning for that? And then Crown said, yeah, it's really just fighting. It's like keep fighting on. It's nothing really kind of point for me.
아무래도 이렐리아가 서로 근접이잖아요. CS를 먹을 때 서로 근접일 때 붙으면은 레네톤이 먼저 때릴 수 있거든요.
Now Dongjun asked about the QVS Renekton pick on the third game, and then the QVS saying that when I play against Irelia, we play very close during the lane, so it will be better pick for me to use Renekton rather countering with other champions. So that's the reason why I picked Renekton for today's match.
보는 그 각이 있잖아요. 그게 아직 안 나와가지고 나오면 한번 써볼까 생각 중이에요.
So
그러면 또 경기 주요 장면 준비해 봤거든요.
now Dongjun said, let's move on to the next video clip, the video highlight for the third match.
큐베 선수의 멋진 활약 장면이네.
Is amazing playing from QV for today's match.
도망을 멋지게 가는 것 같긴 한데. 딱 느끼셨던 건가요? 피해각이라고?
So Dongjun's asking, do you think in that highlight term, you think that you got Irelia for it?
제가 따라가면서 하면 죽일 수 있다.
And QV said that when I keep following Irelia, eventually Irelia have ran out all the skill. So I think I got the point that I will get Irelia in that bottom lane. So I think that's why I keep going and going.
르블랑이 요즘 대세픽들 사이에서 은근히 또 티어가 올라가고 있다라는 느낌이 들어요.
Dongjun's asking to Crown about the pick about LeBlanc. So the tier is going up these days, and what do you think about LeBlanc?
팀원들이 어떻게 생각하는지 모르겠는데
And Crown said, I don't know what my teammates are thinking about, but
비즈니스 관계니까요.
Crown said my teammate is a business term. We're not like a friend. We're like a working partner. So. But in my opinion, he said, pick for LeBlanc is you cannot come out with in any time. We have to look for our combination. When I see today's match, it was pretty good for me to pick LeBlanc because it will be very good in our combination. That's why I picked LeBlanc. So basically, LeBlanc cannot came in any term.
경기를 지긴 졌는데 막 쓸어 담던 그 멋진 장면이
그때 엄청 재밌게 게임을 했어요. 서로 잃을 거 없이 SKT 전
잃을 거 없이.
Dongjun's asking about the pick about Yasuo.
엄청 좋아해요. 제가 야수.
Crown really love Yasuo, but he's very careful with it.
챔프가 너무 안 좋아요. 챔프가 너무 안 좋아서 한두 번 버프만 주시면 라이엇에서.
But he said that there are a lot of downgrading with Yasuo, but if Riot, the company itself, make a lot of buff on Yasuo, I would probably pick during the mid fight. So I really love the champions, but it's pretty hard to use it as a team fight. So Cloud Temper asking what kind of call are going because the third match was quite Clown Fiesta. It was quite unexpected. This is the other game for the other highlight. It was I think it was second game.
앨리스가 스틸하는 게 유리하니까 당연한 거죠.
Now Cubase, as he said before, is also Ambition's fault again. It's definitely his mistake that the Baron was stolen. And it's Rek'Sai's fault. He's keep teasing on his big brother right now. And now Counter also helping Cubase that Rek'Sai was much higher level compared to the Alice. So they're basically talking and jokes about teasing Ambition. So Dongjun said you might have not satisfied with some part of our game, but you guys did a very great job because you guys had a victory today and bring a successful conclusion for the first round. So can you tell about any comments for that?
전승을 하고 싶었어요, 솔직히. 네.
So Crown had a big,
시즌 시작도 엄청
big,
좋았거든요.
big,
근데
very,
저번에도 제가
very thought about that. We really want to win all the game, all the match, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good for us. Even we had some
만족은
loses,
못하고 있어요. 저번 스프링도
but
1라운드
I'm
때
really
이제
satisfied with our first round match.
2라운드 가서 이제 박살이 났거든요.
But still, I worry about like last season. We had a problem in the second round because we lost many games during the last spring season. So
올라가고 싶고요.
we should keep working on that. And while we're having a break, we should have a lot of practice.
팬 여러분들께
And also, I
빨리
really want to go to the World Champions
여기
this season.
상암 무대가 아니라 저 좋은 곳 있잖아요. 막 관객들 몇천 명 있고.
결승전
빨리
And now Crown said to
가고
his
싶어요.
fan
다
that
같이.
not just Sangam Stadium, I want to bring
노력할
all my
테니까 많이
fans
응원해주시고요.
to the
감사합니다.
stadium that where there can fit a lot of fans, like final round. So thank you very much, and I think that's it for today's interview. And thank you very much, and back to you guys.
All right, thanks for the translation, Steven. And there you have it. Samsung getting the somewhat messy 2-1 win over Ever. Pretty good games 2 and 3, but again, stick with Wraith. He's the guy that's going to help you win games. Seems pretty obvious, doesn't it?
I think it does.
Yeah.
I think it does, Doa. And maybe we'll see some more core JJ, but I would like to let him grow into the support role a little bit more before we do.
Yeah, well, it does bump Samsung up to second place for now, so good for them.
Also, the first team to complete the first round robin.
That's true.
So they played all 9 of their matches, I should say, in the first round robin. Everyone else going to be playing catch up for the rest of the week.
Yeah, 6 and 3. Could have been better, could have been worse. See how they do in round 2. And in just a little bit, Longzhu versus SK Telecom, guys, should be an interesting match, given that SKT has looked pretty rough in their last 2 best-of-3s. By rough, I mean terrible. So,
Yeah, really not great.
man, they really need to kind of get it together here. And especially even players like Faker having some big problems right now.
That's right. And we're going to go into that pretty much immediately, guys. So we'll be a short break this time around. We are about 20 minutes after the match was supposed to start.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yep, so we'll be right back in LCK Summer.